I think the conference is absolutely fascinating because there is so much that can be said about codependency in the world.
What we've seen is that there was a lot of propaganda from Russian side that their agricultural sanctions would destroy the European agricultural industry. It didn't. Then again, when it was about the future relations of the European Union with Russia, I'm very pessimistic because I've seen that a lot of high educated talent has left Russia. So what is left?
We tend to look at one level with interrelations. We look at the interstate level, or we look more at our own experiences, but you can actually combine them. I want to sort of bring that to the audience to think more, not to sort of introduce more complexity, but to think more about how can we tackle this in a way that makes more sense to us in our own lives.
The question for the EU and for the other powers in the world is to find where the codependency can work and how you can build the trust that will lead to effective peace and prosperity for the human race.
If you think about the future of peace operations, then you should actually think about the past. Where we're heading is a renewal, let's say, of the period of the Cold War. So if you want to know how peacekeeping and peace operations in the future will look like, you have to go back to the Cold War era. During the Cold War, peace operations were mainly peacekeeping operations implemented by the UN, walking ceasefire lines by military, and that was it. There were other interventions, but those were mainly done by regional organizations.
We talked about perceptions a lot, so I would stick with that key theme and say that security should not be based on our strongest opinions, as you saw in one of the reports I shared with you. Rather, it should be on the weakest functions of our society. And if you're wondering this is why, is because if security is based on the strongest opinions, then we are just addressing the symptoms. Whereas if we base it on the weakest functions of our society, then we are actually addressing the root causes, which then paves way for resilience.
Dit was een inspirerende bijeenkomst. Zoveel talent en zoveel verschillende invalshoeken van een ingewikkelde wereldsituatie waarin we zitten. Kijk naar de geschiedenis en probeer vanuit de geschiedenis en de culturele pluriformiteit die we op deze aarde hebben, respect voor elkaars culturen te hebben en dan vooruitkijken, maar dan kijken naar gezamenlijke belangen die we hebben, die we moeten behartigen met elkaar.